$1 million or $1.5 million on something used, we needed to look at the new, and this one just, I thought it was done for. There was another one I called about, it had less miles, but it was like 800 and some thousand. And it was gone. I was 2 hours calling late, which obviously this one came available, so it worked out. But basically, they give a year major component warranty. So if something catastrophic or whatever happens, it's under warranty for a year. I don't know if I'll answer any question I possibly can.
When you're talking about the seats, who would replace those?
All
Are
this
these
stuff.
things, what, who does?
They can do it while it's
They
in
do
the
it
shop.
while it's in the shop.
Yeah.
So that's included in the basic price?
Everything here on that list is included to be done, and they're a certified shop. They actually run a fire company out of the shop. They're mechanics. If a call comes in their area, they drop their wrenches and go answer calls. So it's, yeah. But they just did they actually have 2 facilities that are within a couple of miles of each. First time I ever been down there, but they do repairs and things like that. So they have a whole group they have a shop full of stuff, in other words, they're redoing. So, but all these items listed were items that we came up with, and was on their list too, that they would do as part of
the
that price.
package.
Right,
And I see
including
new tires and new lettering and.
Yeah, even the lettering,
Yeah.
which is a big deal too.
To your around the
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you say First Citizens were up from 300,000?
First Citizens Bank yesterday afternoon, agreed to finance the whole $649,000 at a tax-free, rate of 3.92. And they were the only institution that I reached out to that came back and said, this is a go, and you have a copy of that, information from First Citizens in your stack of stuff. And on the back, it gives you an amortization schedule as well of what we do.
But this is a lease,
Where does it say lease?
say lease purchase, does it? Proposal for 2025 lease purchase? We don't need a lease,
I mean, I guess that's just a term that they have.
no,
I mean-
lease purchase. The thing about a lease is that it works for private, but it wouldn't behoove us to do it because we're gonna have to pay personal property tax on that. Yes, we don't own it, the bank owns it. And the bank is gonna be taxed by the county and technically us, but we could waive that. But the tax is gonna be on top of what this is, the expense of it. So
The
we just
sales
need a
tax?
straight out
The
loan.
sales tax?
No, property tax.
Property tax.
If it's a
Personal property tax, and it would be technically owned by the bank, and they're renting it to us until which time we decide to either let it go, which we wouldn't do, or we, buy it. So, we need just a straight out loan.
Okay, I can double check with him on that. He didn't
Yeah.
say when we talked that it was a lease purchase.
Yeah.
So you're saying that we'd be on the hook for the personal property taxes?
Yeah,
But wouldn't the county waive that?
I don't know.
Okay,
But
And
no,
then-
we don't really need a lease. A lease is not,
okay,
we
I
wanna
can
buy
get-
this thing, and we don't wanna rent it.
okay, I can get
Yeah.
further information. Then, of course, you've got First National here, and everything that I've gleaned from the other institution, it was not, they're not saying this is approved. They're just giving us some interest rates to look at. First National of Alta Vista, is that what you brought?
I brought the First National
Okay.
Bank. Yeah, that's the one that I brought. I have a contact there.
And he's got a rate at 4.65, and then he's got an amortization schedule for each of you.
Just kind of show you how much, if we borrowed the full amount, how much it would cost.
5 years versus 10.
5 years would cost us about 80,000 in interest. 10 years would be 172,000 in
But she didn't use purchase, lease purchase. And Atlantic Union, Bob, I see tax exempt lease purchase,
They use it.
4.55.
I saw that in there too.
They might figure we just chasing a low interest rate,
Right,
but they don't tell you all the things that
Bells and
are
whistles.
gonna figure into it at a later time.
and then you have Carter Bank and Trust at 6.42. And he did not use that term, lease purchase.
It's important to get that spot.
Yes, sir.
So basically, if the town, basically, the $100,000 that was set aside, this year to go towards an apparatus, if you continue that each year, we could, with the county money, say we get this, the bulk of it paid for, between now and the time that money is available, so we're not.
Where do you think this money's coming from? Do
Huh?
you think people are gonna come up with that kind of money that quick?
Oh, not over the period of time, I mean,
But that's not, what, 2 years away, right?
well, 3,
Well,
just 2025.
I'm just not that optimistic about people, donating money to the town of Chapel.
Well,
I know it's for,
Yeah.
the fire department and everything like that,
but I think some of those folks recognize the
they should.
the expense, and if we continue that path, I'm not, there's no guarantee in that, but if that will put us back on a good track, and then, let's say, and again, I'm just throwing this out, I don't want nobody to say we're planning on buying a new truck in 3 years or whatever, I'm saying if all this worked out, we could, the county money, the next purchase, let's say it's $1 million for a new engine, you get the 325 and 28. Whenever the truck is delivered, is when that, after the first year, that first payment is due. Finance it for 11 years, you get 2 cycles of the county money if it stayed the same, which is $650,000. So that $1 million truck now is a lot less money that you're facing. And if those amounts increase, that money's even less, so.
This $1 million, what you talking about, what kind of truck?
To replace 211, yeah,
Which 211?
the engine,
What
the
engine?
Freightliner engine,
Just, you talking about replacing the engine?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's next in line behind this truck. And I'm just bringing it up for a plan, we were talking about a capital plan, and, this fits in with that. In a time frame, and it's not we're sitting here asking you to approve that, it's just trying to
Set up a strategy.
set up a strategy that, okay, we've got a plan. It may be altered, but we actually have a plan, and we can say we got a plan. This is what we hope to do with this money, this is what we hope to do there. And then at some point, obviously the money's gonna go up because they went up this year, and then they recognize, and that could change during the course of everything. So I don't wanna speak other than any further out than that, because things could change